want to see like, okay, you got bitches that's there for you, like bitches that, because if you've been doing
I feel like
this,
he should still be a man, like a real manly man.
Yeah, too. And if you've been doing this for this long, where all the hoes that was before me? None of them here.
Or what, did they progress or what?
Like, and then right, none of that's what I want to know. Like, okay, how long you done had? Where your bitches at? Where your hoes at? And I want to know, like, let me see how they look. Let me see their level.
They're a representation.
Your bitches are a representation of you. So if your hoes are on nothing, like I look at them and I'm like, why would I want to give you my money?
Welcome to Durable Minds Radio.
And within seeing this video, you know, you start thinking like, okay, this is a thing now, right? This is a thing to where the ladies of the lifestyle, they can come into the lifestyle, right, knowing what the trick is, but not necessarily having no experience with the pimp. And within doing that, right, they will start getting, you know, successful with the trick, and they will start trying to, you know somewhat of what a pimp is. You know what I'm saying? And what I came to realize, and I think, you know, Good Game spoke on it a couple times, right? What I came to realize is that they're starting to think, you know, the 16 is, you know, some type of enhanced trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they've been dealing with tricks so much, right? They've been dealing with the trick so much that in their minds, they believe, you know, the pimp is supposed to do something for them, right? Instantly. Because within, you know, them having that attention from the trick and they've been successful, now in their mind, they think that the you know, the pimping is supposed to be the trick on steroids, you know, for them to want to choose. You know what I mean? Let's see if we get this blur out of here. Hold on, let me see if we get the blur somewhat better. Let's see if we get the blur somewhat better, because it's a little blurry. Is it a little blurry on y'all end? Can y'all see that picture real good? Or is it a little blurry? We might have to rock with the blur tonight. We might have to rock with the blur tonight. Let me see if I can throw this background down. Let's see if we can throw the background down a little bit for y'all. All right. But yeah, you know, to where now, you know, every structure has an introduction, right? And within that introduction, everyone enters through their own structure. So a lot of ladies are entering through their own structure, right? And now they're getting some sense of confidence, right? And to where they learn what tricks is first. And before, you know, they think they're learning structure because they're breaking on tricks, right? And that introduction becomes their foundation, right? Now, knowing that's their foundation, that becomes their framework. That becomes their mindset, right? So now it shapens their expectations within the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? One second. Okay. But you get what I'm saying? So now, because they frame that expectation, they start speaking and creating a narrative of what a 16 is. And that's kind of what we touching on tonight, right? That's kind of the gist of this video, right? We're going to be breaking it down to see firsthand how the ladies, you know, they speak on how they entered the lifestyle, right? And then they speak on, you know, their perception of what a 16 is to them, right? This is not coming from a bashing these ladies or, oh, these girls are this or this or that. It's a thing now. A lot of ladies are doing this to where sometimes they have to ask themselves, you know, are what they're saying about the 16 actually true? Or did they create that type of narrative on their self because they've been, you know, dealing with the trick so long? They be wanting you to do some off the wall shit and y'all just met. Right, because they're used to that, right? They're used to the man that's in that trick position because that's how they got introduced to the lifestyle. You know what I mean? You know? So they're not going to interpret it from what a 16 really is because they don't know what it really is. You know what I mean? So now, you know, the difference is the entrance, right? And the foundation. You get what I'm saying? So some, you know, not every 304, you know, be coming in the game the right way, right? Some of them, they want some fast money. Some of them, they want, you know, survival. You know, they want consistency. They're looking for friends. They want to dance. You know, they're looking for validation. So all of these things, right, is not really teaching them about the introduction, right? It's just how to deal with tricks. You get what I'm saying? It's not necessarily choosing a 16, right? So now they'll start thinking, oh, well, I know this and I know that. And they know all the things about breaking a trick. So now they'll ask themselves, why do I need a 16, right? And we're going to touch on managing too. And I appreciate y'all tapping the screen. Right? We're going to touch on the management part too. Let me see if we can get this straight, man. I'm trying to get it straight. I swear I should have been bought one, but is that straight? That looks straight, right? All right. So, yeah. As soon as we get up a little bit more and get some more ears in here, hopefully we get some more ears in here. Hopefully they just now catching in with what's going on up in here, right? And hold on, let me do it this way. Where my other phone at? Is it on? Yeah, it's on. Okay, I'll do it on the other phone so I don't mess up this screen. But like I'm saying, listen, the scholarship part about it is, you know, your first lesson becomes your best belief, right? So if tricks are your audience, right, then tricks become the education. You get what I'm saying? Now, that's with dealing with man. So now when they come dealing with the 16, because the 16 is saying this and saying that, they automatically start assuming the 16 is supposed to be some high-end trick, some dude that's supposed to do X, Y, and Z for you right away to showcase that he's a true 16, right? To where their idea of this lifestyle gets self-centered about them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not purposely. It's just because of how they entered the lifestyle. You know? It's just because of how they entered the lifestyle. Right? And, you know, the development part of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does a trick actually teach? You know, lack of words, right? It's not necessarily he's really teaching, but unintentionally teaching is how to attract man, though, right? How to negotiate, you know, how to get paid. You get what I'm saying? How to read people, how to avoid people. You get what I'm saying? How to maximize your profit. You know what I'm saying? How to remain independent. You get what I'm saying? So within learning all these tactics with dealing with a trick, they try to implement them on different people, right? Because now they feel like they've learned something and they were successful in learning it. Why not implement it on the 16? You know what I'm saying? Why not try to see if the 16 is worthy of my 304 because these tricks are? And that's the wrong mindset to have, because that's why I always ask the 304s that's independent, do you look at all men as tricks? Do you get what I'm saying? Because if you do, then you really haven't tapped in on the man's mind, right? What you tapped in on is the tactic of getting in the man's pockets. You get what I'm saying? But because a lot of tricks are very broad, so some tricks are not tricking to trick and they want to get to like the girl. Some tricks are tricking because of insecurities. Some tricks are just tricking because they got the money. So knowing that, you got to understand the psychology of the trick is different from each individual. So you can't think that all men are tricks because you're not tapping into their membrane of it, right? You know what I mean? They not tapping into the membrane. So let's play a little bit of this video, right? Let's play a little bit of this video, right? Because before we jump into the video, right? I'm not, like I said, we're not listening to argue, right? We're not listening to argue, right? That's not the thing of this. We're trying to see how she got introduced to the lifestyle, right? We're trying to see what became the foundation in her mind because of how she got introduced to the lifestyle, right? What did she learn first? What did she learn first is very, very important, right? What did she pick up first? You get what I'm saying? And what framework is she speaking from now? You know what I mean? So let's play it. Let's play it.
Wow. Is it have you done a sugar baby and stuff before though too?
Yeah.
You liked it? No.
It takes so much time. Like, they
It's
be
sugar
aggravating.
Yeah. I mean,
They be aggravating. You can't lie. Sugar daddies be aggravating.
It depends on it. I like to be a bitch sometimes. So if you get one of the ones,
See, okay,
if you get one of the ones that like you to be mean,
okay, like I like to be dominant. So if I like the ones, yeah, like how you just said, like if it's somebody I can treat like shit, I enjoy it.
Oh my god,
like, and I enjoy it, but the ones that like really like me and be out into me and I can't do that. Like, I don't have time.
They don't be spending that much money. That's why.
Yeah, I don't have time for
That's why you don't like it, because they're not sugar daddies. We call those splendor daddies.
Now notice they're really not, talking about tricks, right? Notice they're not. They talking about, I don't know, whatever version they call a trick, right? So notice, right, square talk. Notice already off the rip, their idea of what a trick is kind of off, right? It's kind of off, but we gonna let it continue, right? So with that being said, they're already what a pimp is gonna be off, right? Prince, what's going on? So let's keep watching.
They're splendor daddies. They're not sugar daddies. Splendor daddy is a knockoff sugar daddy. He likes to portray to be that. Yeah. Cause
I want to beat a nigga up. Like, let me.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Like, let me stomp on you. Like, let me stomp on your balls and shit. Like,
real shit. Let me talk to you like it was like a piece of shit.
And once again, man, they're talking about tricks with fetishes, and we understand that, right? We understand it. It's easy money. I get it, right? But notice how they're getting introduced, and notice how the lady in the orange, she runs around a lot of the questions, right? She gonna run around a lot of the questions.
Mm-hmm. Her mother hates you, fucking orphan. Like,
bitch, send me some money now.
Yeah. I'm finna take her social security and go buy a car right now. I'm doing that shit today. I'm getting a boat in your name.
No, for real.
No. Okay, so how did you start off though, like getting into the industry?
Honestly, okay, I was in Miami one weekend with my friends.
It's always fucking Miami.
What happens in Miami stays in Miami. Listen, so I was in Miami one weekend, but it was kind of like, we met some niggas. My friend was kind of like already in the lifestyle or whatever. Yeah. So she kind of was like, okay, I'm like, but see, honestly, when I was younger, I used to always get stuff from niggas. Like, yeah.
So far, just square conversation, right? She talking about she got in a lifestyle, she was young. She had older friends that probably wasn't in the lifestyle they self. See, that's another thing you got to keep in mind. They probably wasn't even in the lifestyle they self. So these girls that's just doing their thing, they think they're, dealing with tricks. And they're not necessarily dealing with tricks. They're just flirting with dudes, and these dudes are liking them and spending money on them, right?
I always get something. Like, whether they buy me something, I'm always get something out the deal, but
you up your game a little better.
My game, like, oh, just give it to me in my hand. Like, oh, okay. And then from there, like, I just took off like a rocket.
So
very ramble jamble, slick talk, right? She ain't really saying much. Just trying, because I don't think these ladies really in the lifestyle myself, right? But they can, you can't tell them they not in the lifestyle, right? So that's why we're coming from the angle that we're speaking on, to where now, because they entered the lifestyle a different way, they have a different perception on what they think a pimp is. But sometimes, you know, this is shining a light on them. Hopefully this comes across them and they hear it, and then they might, you know, self-reflect.
Did she, like, tell you about prices, or, like...
Honestly, like, okay, not my first time. My first time, like, actually, okay, getting the money in hand, it was on some shit, like, she was like, he got this money. He told me how much she had, but, and I was
she probably, because
okay.
she probably knew you probably didn't know, so she was like, he got this, yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And then from there, like,
this shit easy.
This shit easy. Like, okay, ABC, 1, 2, 3.
And yeah, flirting is very easy. Flirting is easy, but it's not, you know, in a participant lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? It's not that, right? But that's what they're talking about.
You more than likely was probably already gonna fuck him, right?
Probably so. Like,
probably so.
You know what I'm saying? You know
you
how you go, but when you young, like, you don't really know shit. So, like, she was the person that I could say, told me, like, okay.
Jumping.
Yeah, but honestly, before that, like, I used to just, like, fuck nigga, you know, ask for it afterwards. I never knew I get it first. Like, I get it first, then I figure out how much. Okay, like, okay, based on what you pay me, that's how I'm gonna fuck you.
Cause I hate what, you know how bitches is, like, bitches will go out here and fuck.
Hold on. What's up with this damn screen, bro? It's like jumping. Y'all see it jumping? That stuff is killing me. Hold on. Let's try to get it right one more time. Let's see what is going on. This stuff is like jumping. I don't know why it's jumping like that. Y'all gonna have to just rock with it jumping like that, man. Okay, it stopped. All right, here we go.
XYZ nigga, but as soon as a nigga want to put some money in, like, hey, I got this for you, bitches want to act like they're offended and shit. But, like,
I don't understand. Like, that goes, like...
What?
Okay, now they're talking about, you know, the square ladies out there that be getting offended by a guy wanting to spend money on them, because they cool with that, you know. They think that's part of the lifestyle, right? They think, oh, that's what makes me be in the lifestyles. These dudes are gonna, you know, spend money on me. I'm a 304 now. I'm doing some hoeing. When reality is, that structure is built off knowing what a trick is. And the reality is, 9 times out of 10, those dudes are the type of tricks that really don't stand on their tricking, right? And that's why we're going to really talk on in a little bit about, you know, how people, you know, want to go chase and get tricks and make tricks instead of trying to, you know, have a presentation so tricks come to them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the real knowledge of the lifestyle, right? The real knowledge of the lifestyle is being able to present yourself so tricks come to you, right? Not always trying to go get the tricks. See, a lot of these ladies, that's how they be doing it. And they think they some 304s. They think they got to go, oh, I got to. And what they'll run into is, yeah, the dude would trick, but that's not his intent, right? His intent is he going to try to trick to get you to like him, right? Now, every now and then you're going to run into the real, you know, the trick that's just out in the square world and be like, oh, damn, you know, and she lucks up on it because she lacks the structure and entered the lifestyle the wrong way, her breaking on that trick is not going to be very successful. Yeah, she might get some money on her own running into him in the square world or whatnot, but because she lacks the knowledge and the understanding and she just thinks, oh, this is just an easy lick, she might be too aggressive, right? Or she might be too passive or whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? All right, let's let some more play.
I want you to take me to dinner.
Those bitches, they're not getting it.
Like,
They're not even getting that. Bitches not even getting a happy birthday. They're just going out and fucking. I'm talking about the bitches that just like, you know, bitches like have fun. Like, you know, the bitches they go out and just be fucking.
Happy birthday.
I would hope so. But you know what I'm saying? Like the bitches that just go out and fuck for, you know, for dick and fun.
Yeah.
But if a nigga wants to come,
the ones that go get drunk in the club and then after the club they leave with the nigga and just go fuck him.
Yeah.
Leave in the morning.
Yeah, that's stubborn. But we want to know what you ladies are doing. You see, a lot of people can point out the obvious, right? It's easy to point out the obvious because we all been there, done that, right? The hard part is challenging on being real, right? Challenging on saying exactly what your experience is and what you've learned and how you maneuver. But we're not going to get that. We just going to get them talking about, and I believe, their own experiences, right? That's what I believe.
That's it. They get each other number and that's it.
And then there'd be a nigga who comes to them with some money and then they want to like,
why you trying me like that? Okay, bitch.
You get what I'm saying?
Let's go out Saturday. Let's go out Saturday. I'm gonna buy you 2 drinks in the club, and then we gonna see each other in the club.
You still gonna fuck the nigga regardless. So what? If you getting money for
you might as well get something out of it.
Like, why would you be like? How are you offended?
And you hear what they saying? You might as well get something out of it. And it's like, I'd rather. This is my take. This is my take. If the 304 is really being a true 304, I'd rather her, take that real seriously. Understand she's in a subculture, right? And then the ones that don't want to participate, and they be like, look, I don't want to get paid. I don't need no dude to do none of that, right? I don't like the gray area females, right? I respect more the females that be like, nah, I don't need you to buy this, that, or another. I could take care of my own, like me for me, right? I don't like the gray area females because the gray area females, these ladies right here, they're trying to bash the women that don't want to be tricked on, but they're the ones that's in that gray area where they don't have a man because they don't have no true structure. They just they just that picky choosy. They just in the way, you know what I'm saying? To where they're really the reasons tricks be getting fucked up because they just be freelancing with tricks. They might fall in love with the trick. They might, be too aggressive with the trick. They might run the trick off or whatever the case may be, right? So that's why it's like y'all gotta find y'all footing. These ladies gotta find their footing.
If a nigga trying to give you some money, bitch. What if your car break down tomorrow, bitch? You can take that money and fix your car. You see, look, that's bitches.
Oh, you want to have to text him and ask him for it afterwards.
You got a flat tire, exactly. I'm just saying, like,
it don't make sense to me.
So after the first time, like, was you still working in a club?
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I started dancing as soon as I turned 18.
I
started dancing as soon as I turned 18, but I was like going to clubs like, Blue Angels on the West Side. I go to that's when Escape was on. It used to be Escape.
Escape was on the South.
Bubbles. Well, yeah. It's not Bubbles no more, but yeah. Worked there. I had worked at Officers Club, Bayport. Like I was working at clubs like
used
that.
To be lit too.
Mm-hmm. But
let me know. Have y'all heard anything? No, right? We ain't heard nothing, right? We ain't heard nothing yet, right? We haven't heard anything worth anything yet. And I want y'all to keep that in mind because the conversation is going to lead into what they think a pimp is. And when they want to speak on what they think a pimp is, notice how the whole they very, very smart and educated and know this and know that. You know what I'm saying? To where when they was talking about their own self, we wasn't hearing none of that really, right? It's just about bashing the square women because they feel like they got one up on the square women when reality is they don't. They part of the square women too.
Then after that, like of course, the people in the club, like I really wasn't thinking to get no money from them. I was just thinking I'd take all that money then. And I wasn't thinking that because I was young. So that was like a different thing. Like so after that, yeah, I was still dancing. Like, I was working. I was dancing. But then, like, I learned by other stuff, like the internet.
Yeah. What you mean by the internet? Like, Google search and shit? That's how I found out about, like, sugar babies. Like, bitch, when I was in high school and my hunger, we used to always look up the shit. That's how I found out about secret arrangements.
And they be using these terminologies like sugar babies and whatever the other babies she said. That's very square terminologies to me too, right? That's very square terminology. And I get it. They're trying to get unified and make something as if they're doing something. But reality is they're not. You know what I'm saying? Reality is they're not. And when they get on these podcasts and they're talking as if they have some type of knowledge, you know, people that's in the square world are looking at them like, you know, they're not respecting them, right? That's why they need to be a part of the subculture, so now they can get a true identity of being a 304, right? Now they can talk with confidence. You get what I'm saying?
Before it turned into Splendor Daddies.
Yeah.
Seeking Arrangements used to be the place for sugar daddies.
That's how you know, like, Seeking Arrangements ain't nothing, because it's called Splendor Daddies.
No, it's not called Splendor Daddies. We call it Splendor. We call it Splendor.
Say, it's called Splendor
No,
Daddies.
it's still called Seeking Arrangements, but like back then, it really used to be like real deal sugar daddies. Like the whole. But now it's niggas on Seeking Arrangements portraying themselves to be as if that type of guy. No, nigga, you a Splendor Daddy. You a broke ass nigga trying to manipulate a young girl and trying to. This ain't that, nigga.
Wait, so she's saying a Splendor Daddy is somebody that's trying to manipulate the ladies? I don't know. So let me know, somebody in the comments. What is a Splendor Daddy? What is the example they gave?
Nah, it's, you in the wrong. You in the wrong place. Out of here.
Get out my lane.
Get out of here. So that's why now that's what it says Splendor. So Splendor Daddies is what you call the fake sugar daddies.
But I
okay. So a Splendor Daddy is what you call the fake sugar daddies. Okay. Whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't know. Somebody let me know. The fake sugar daddies. So the ones that are not trying to spend money, I'm assuming. Let me pull it back some. There we go. The ones that's not trying to spend no money, but then what they trying to I don't know. Is it the sugar daddy? Because what a sugar daddy, they want you to live with them and stuff. And I guess the Splendor Daddy just don't want you to live with them, but just want to be the trick, or you know what I'm saying? But let's keep it going, y'all.
Part, but I was just saying when you said Splendor Daddy, I was like, damn, that's what they changed it.
When you're out, when you go fishing, right? When you go fishing, how is it that? Like, how do you pick your heart, or how do you know it's going to be a guy that you would entertain?
Once I start conversation with them, and sometimes I pick them like I just look. Like I go based on, I know what money looks like.
What money look like? I don't know what it looks like.
She said I just know what money look like. You know what I'm saying? So now keep that in mind, right? Pin that. Because obviously she's going to use that same tactic to a 16, right? Obviously. If this is her tactic to, you know, this is what she think a trick, I know what they look like, then she's obviously using the same type of ideology, strategy, mindset towards the 16.
Hey, I'm just explaining to a bitch that don't
know what money look like.
I'm just saying, explaining to a bitch that don't know, like, what does money look like?
What money looks like for somebody else, and what it look like for me might be different.
Not the ignorant what money look like, bitch. We ain't talking about that one.
What I'm saying, but
I feel like it's something you kind of can't explain it like that.
Yeah,
you just know.
really can't explain it. Like, you just
it's in their aura.
You have to see how they move in, what they do. It depends on where we at. Also, like, we in a casino, it's a different like vibe. If I'm in a club or a bar, it's a different vibe. If I might be at a hotel bar or something, it's a different vibe. Like, it wouldn't all be the same. Like, that's what money look like. Sometimes you don't know what money look like.
Airport bars be the best places too.
Sometimes you don't know what money look like. I done seen people that look like they don't have money. I've been with somebody and he looks like he has. Like, I'm like, why are you dressed like?
Listen, this is the problem with these. This is the problem. They're still searching for what a trick truly is because they haven't bought into the totality of being a 304. See, when you play on the fence, right? You have to, when you want to act square, but then figure out if he's a trick or whatever. I believe that's how a lot of ladies put themselves in harm's way because they playing with a lot of dudes' minds and they don't understand the man mind enough, so they run into people that are not thinking in their mind that they're a trick. But in the female's mind, in the lady's mind, she's thinking he's a trick. Right? So now, her trying to make him a trick, unintentionally, right? Because they're not taking their 304 seriously enough. So they might not just, they might be like, oh yeah, you got to take me to dinner or whatever the case may be. And, get the little jewels or get little gifts and things like that. And think that's cool. But they never, had that contract, that understanding that, hey, I'm a trick, hey, I'm a client, and you're the 304. That's still the elephant in the room. You get what I'm saying? So that being the elephant in the room, success to great. Hey, man, welcome in, man. I'm glad you made it over here, man. We over here on the TikTok side. We gave IG a break. We over here with it, man. I appreciate you coming in and tapping the screen. Y'all show success some love, man. He's an original day oneer with this Bears and Bees broadcast, you did? But listen, confidence can't create, interpretations. You get what I'm saying? So yes, they be feeling like they confidence, right? But confidence don't fill gaps, right? Experience fills the gaps, right? So when they be thinking they're having personal success, right? They're thinking that's what's filling the gap, right? So they think they understand, they think they're learning game, right? To where now that personal experience becomes the teacher. You know what I'm saying? That's when people naturally begin saying things like, oh, this is what a pimp is and this and that and the third, right? But let's let her keep going.
Like that. Because they don't want that treatment.
But whole time,
you can tell.
Whole time I know what he got. Like, I know him. Like, I know what you got. So, like, why do you look like that? Like, why you dress like that? So sometimes it just depends. It depends on you. If you
That's
got it, you got it.
Like, you don't think, like, even if, okay, like you said, even if the nigga look like a bum, anything, it's like, it's just, you can't, it's in you, it ain't on you.
What does that mean? Remember when we told y'all about their terminology? They love to take the terminologies from this subculture, right? The pimp and hoe life, and just throw it out there and just make it. Because now, oh, she said something, right? And I get it, right? It's in you, ain't on you, but they're trying to explain how they know what a trick is. So is it in them or is it in the trick, right? And I get it. I mean, I don't get it. I ain't never, been a 304 breaking on tricks, but I think if they had true structure and they took their 304 and truly seriously, they will be able to elaborate better because they seen, a man that understands and appreciate their choices in life elaborated better for them, so now they get a better understanding. You get what I'm saying? But when they're trying to talk it, and you can tell that they just been quote unquote freelancing and been lucking up on tricks and sugar daddies or whatnot. Now when it's time to explain some shit, like as if they have some knowledge behind what they're doing, they can't explain it.
Package walking out the door. So like it's just something about that. Like when you by yourself all the time, like
I don't like
already
it.
When I'm already
it's scary.
Half of the time when I'm out of town, I'm myself. So
in a hotel and stuff is different versus like being in a because it's a little more secure. For me, I don't know, I'm a little scary asshole sometimes.
No, they do that. They do that.
So now they talking about being alone, right? Being alone by themselves. And it seems like they just be, I don't know, playing city to city, state to state. And now they're explaining on, what they think. Oh no, now they're explaining how it is to be alone, right? How it is to be lonely when they ain't chose nobody and they out there trapping by themselves, right? And they're trying to be like, oh yeah, it's lonely, and they talking about their family. I kind of edited out. They was talking about their mom, having a home cooked meal for them when they like to stay close by the house, and it's home love and all of that type of stuff, right? Is it too crooked? Is it straight for y'all, man? That's straight as we can get it right now. That's straight enough. We rocking like that, man. Bear with me. I appreciate y'all coming in, man. Keep tapping the screen. Have a seat. We still not done talking about this, right? But like I said, they're talking about how it's very, very alone. I mean, they're very lonely and whatnot. So let's let them cook.
Because you got, like, people like you, before you come to me, everybody in the front going to see you. The camera's going to see you. Like, so, yeah, it is more secure. But I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, home vibe, like, It's nothing like
that love.
Yeah.
I wish everybody could experience that love. Oh my God, I wish. I feel so bad. So, how do you feel about pimps?
Here we go.
I mean, okay.
Here we go. Hold on, man. God damn. All right, here we go.
It depends on the person. Like, I feel like with the female side, it's some girls that need pimps and there's some girls that probably don't. But also, like, it's more of...
And that's what I'm trying to explain right here. So first off, you see how now she's like, some need them and some don't? And she can't explain why, but let's see if she does.
A security thing, like a security blanket. So...
Security.
I feel like it depends on the... And then with the male side, I feel like it's who you choose. Because if you choose a nigga that's not doing shit, like, it's not no point in you having him. Versus you choose somebody that, okay, you never had this, you never had that, you never had that. But once you start working for him, now you're obtaining these things. Obviously, you probably need him. Like, obviously, like, it wasn't...
And notice how the terminology is so square, right? I hate when people be like working for him and all of that, because they take out their agency. They take out their own mind of choosing the lifestyle, choosing to deal with the gentleman, and they're looking at the pimping whole lifestyle as, some business instead of a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? They looking at it like a business instead of a lifestyle. So when they do that, they're automatically putting themselves in a box to be alone the rest of their life. You get what I'm saying? So they got to come open-minded to understanding the true essence of a 16, but it's very hard when they really don't even have a true idea of what a trick is, because how they got introduced to the lifestyle, right? Because all 304s, any lady that could come on a podcast and be like, I'm some hoeing, needs to be with a pimp, right? Because they're going to end up being with a square dude trying to make him a pimp, especially if they're still going to want to do some 304. And it don't work that way.
It just depends on the person on both ends. Like, because a bitch that done had it all, she's not going to choose somebody that
can't be easily impressed.
Right. Fact. She can't be easily impressed. So you're going to have to put a little, like, what can you do?
Your actions.
What can you...
Your actions have to match your words.
Right. Fuck all that. Hey now, say now.
Because them niggas come around like Dr. Seuss all day.
Yeah, fuck all that. It's more cute. Of how we gonna elevate. Yeah, you could talk about elevation, but how are we elevating?
Right. How are we elevating? And mind you, the development, right? So the framework, right? How she entered the lifestyle creates the expectations, right? So if the tricks were the foundation, right, then naturally, you know what I'm saying, the pimp may be elevating through a tricks framework. You know what I'm saying? To where now expectations become, where's the money? The 16 should have this. He should be making life easier. He should be investing his money. You get what I'm saying? Because the foundation naturally comes from her, from a lot of ladies out there in the world, thinking they got some game because they know what a trick is. So now when it comes to talking about the 16, they think the 16 is supposed to be a higher level of some tricking, because they're stripping away their independent, they're stripping away their independent knowledge. Right, they're stripping away their decision making, their credit of making good decisions and wanting a man for them. See, they don't want to look at the pimp man, the pimping as the man for a 304 because of how many stereotypes, how many pretenders there is out there. But if we strip away, the managing part and just the money, let's say she got everything going, who would be the man for her to understand? They can never answer that question. And that's why I always let them understand that's the true essence of the lifestyle. That's what really makes the pimping and hoeing. It has nothing to do with the hierarchy, the managing, the dealing with tricks. It has the understanding of, because this woman is choosing to deal with another human being that is a man and getting their money, society is going to have a mindset of looking at negative at that woman. So because society is going to look negative at that woman, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be an uphill battle for her to have a man. So that's why it's important to strip away all this other stuff and get to the root of why the pimping and hoeing really, really works. You get what I'm saying?
What are you going to do for me that I haven't done for myself? That's more so what somebody who's already, what they would say, renegade, and somebody who's been renegading this long.
No, she's never been a renegade because she's never been with a 16. She's only been an independent 304, independent prostitute, whatever you want to call it. We love TikTok. And you got to keep that in mind. See, back in the day, the independent workers, right, the escorts, the ladies that, the call girls, the cam girls, even the strippers on a certain degree, they knew they was in a whole different lane, right? They didn't speak as if they was some hoeing before this terminology 304, right? They did their thing with their agency, with their brothel or whatever, and they understood the true hoes that, you know, was outside doing their thing, dealing with 16s. They got it. It was a whole different aspect. Now, could the real 304 get in that lane? Yes. But the ones that were only played in that lane, they wasn't vocal on being a 304. They wasn't vocal on being some hoeing, right? They wasn't speaking on the 16. They wasn't worried about that. Even if they had knowledge, you wouldn't know because that wasn't their MO. Now, everybody, no matter what lane you in, you might not even be in a lane. You could just be freelancing. You get what I'm saying? You could just be at a casino. You could just be at a square club. You know what I'm saying? You could get bottle service and kicking it at a table with dudes that's just throwing dollars with bottles, and in their mind they're telling themselves they're 304s now. You know what I'm saying? And they're speaking on, and they're not, they're tethering away from, they're tethering the terminology and the language from the pimping and hoeing to make it look cool, make it sound hip. You know what I mean?
What would you do? Like,
what did they get renegade from?
I think because, like, renegade means, like, wild and, like, just, I feel like they...
So is
you hear what I'm saying? So she just called herself a renegade, both of them, whatever. And they don't even know what renegade means. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what renegade means. But they over here saying I guess the 16 calls us renegades. And it's like, no, what we call you ladies is squares. That's what we call you ladies. Square as hell. That's what we call you ladies. We call you renegade. We don't even know if you do some 304. We call you square as hell. We love TikTok. We love TikTok. We love TikTok.
Staying horse and people love those.
You're right. I don't know where they got the word from.
So maybe that's a compliment, nigga. It's majestic as fuck. But
she's saying a renegade is a horse. Renegade comes from being rogue, right? Going against, knowing the structure, knowing the code, knowing the rules, being involved with it, and going rogue to it. Now you're a rebel. Now you're a renegade towards the subculture, right? We're not, the renegade doesn't come from the animals. No.
Renegade horse, and Mustang, it's majestic.
Yeah, but that's how I feel. I feel like, it just depends on the person. Like, because all my life I've been doing this, and I only had this, and this, and I haven't elevated past it. But if I can get with you and I can elevate past it, you can teach me how to make more money. You can put me onto more money. You can even invest my money in things that makes more money.
Right. That's all for sure can happen, right? But that's not the reason you choose a 16, right? That's not the reason you choose 16. See, this is what we're gonna touch on a little later tonight, right? On how, some 16s, because what pumps these ladies' heads up to be speaking is they're getting attention from these dudes that's calling themselves 16s, right? And that's why I always preach that a 16 is not always going to be, he's going to be very selective, right? He's going to position himself and be very selective of who, is able to even, see him and approach him and whatnot. He's not going to be thirsty trying to pop at every female, especially if he ain't got his footing yet, right? Especially if he's still trying to come up in the game. He understands to stay unique because the female is supposed to choose, right? So if he puts himself in a position to be chose, then she's going to, choose for whatever characteristic he brings to the table. But if a lot of times, a lot of these cats, they be trying to shoot at all these girls and pop at all these dudes and acting like they this and acting like they that, to where they set themselves up, right? They trip over their own feet. To where now the girl can easily be like, well, what you got? What you got this and what you got that? When the reality is, you shouldn't even been approaching yourself to that lady. She shouldn't even have your presence. She shouldn't even been, able to even hear how you text or hear how you sound. You know what I'm saying? Because how do you know she even takes her 304 seriously to be even you approaching her? You know what I'm saying? To where understanding is a big thing of taking it seriously, right? Most real 304s, they're real humble. They're real understanding of situations. Because if they did make it out of, the grassroots of the game, they have a sense of understanding to where when they meet in a gentleman of the lifestyle, there is no sizing it up. You get what I'm saying? They could have quadrillion dollars because they got it from the grassroots. They understand, I'm meeting a gentleman of the lifestyle. There's no need to size it up. That's why I'm trying to teach y'all that these ladies that are acting like they're 304s and they're speaking of it, you guys got to keep in mind, and even if you want to educate them, that they're coming from entering the knowing what a trick is. And 9 times out of 10, that type of trick is not even the real type of trick in a lifestyle, right? So now they create their own narrative, right? Their introduction turns into foundation, turns into framework, and now it's expectations and narratives, right? And that's the biggest, principle of understanding this. Let's keep it going, though.
If you can do all of those things, you would be a good pimp for me.
Facts.
Because obviously, there's some things that I couldn't do for myself.
Facts.
Like,
see, do you see how now that we think about it and we keep hearing it, she's sounding like she's talking to a trick. And shout out to Good Game because he brings this question up all the time, right? But he'll come with it like, don't you think a trick can do that? When reality is, I look at it as, why are you framing the pimping in the same trick category, right? To where, yes, the trick can do that. But then their argument to be with that is like, well, I don't need a pimp then, right? When you got to let them know the true essence of having a man understand, appreciate, and hopefully can give some good suggestions to keep everything growing. That's the real, way to letting them understand. It's strip away the management, the money. Let's strip away all of that. Okay, you got all the money coming, going. That's good. You don't need me to, you know where all the tricks is. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know where all the plays is. That's cool. You got a savings. You got good credit. That's cool. You got a car. You got a house. That's cool. Do you have a man that understands where you came from? Are you going to be able to challenge to accept that type of man with what he has? Because that's the thing. A lot of these dudes want to be pimps, so they going to compromise for that first little bride. You know what I'm saying? And then when things start rolling, they can't stretch their pimp wings out. They not able to stretch their pimp wings out. So that's why you got to drill it in. Like, look, you ain't got no man, but you're not going to, come and, create this type of man either. You're going to keep running into confrontations. You're going to keep running into friction. All right, let's let her go.
I know how to make the money. I know how to put it in my bank account and let it sit there. But I don't know, like, if you
take it and make him a
behind. If you can tell me, then you might be somebody that can
teach me how to flip it. Teach me how to make my credit better. Teach
you how to flip it. Teach you how to flip it. And when they say that, I be thinking they and it's hard times out there. Teach you how to flip it. And y'all talking about y'all know how to point out they look like money. Y'all know what they look like and this and that. Why would you need somebody? Why do you want the dope boy? Right? Why can't you just have the pimping and just be like, okay, bet. I got somebody that understand me. And guess what? Within him taking his lifestyle so serious, for sure he's going to have knowledge to give you. It's going to be the littlest things that you might never understood. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ladies that be like, oh, I got this, I got that. They got it in the square world. They ain't get it in the lifestyle. It just sound good to say that. You know what I'm saying? It just sound good. They didn't get it out, you know, really getting it out, you know what I'm saying? No. Nah, I ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go.
How the fuck do you buy a house, nigga? How do you do taxes, nigga? Teach me that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Teaching. That's
stuff you can self-teach. You can teach yourself that. You don't have to think. Because I'm trying to tell you, they run into these type of dudes that be thinking, okay, I gotta just have a good credit scheme, or I gotta just have some type of scheme, and then, you know, come full circle, just like I posted earlier on the Instagram side, come full circle, they calling everybody a pimp. You get what I'm saying? And all these ladies is just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay somebody that could fix my credit. I'm gonna pay somebody that could get me a house. I'm gonna pay somebody that can get me a car. I'm gonna pay somebody that could flip what I pay them. I'm gonna pay somebody that knows all the plays and all of this. In reality B, they ain't paying a P. You know, they paying the dude that they come in the comments talking about, oh, P's is sassy and P's is this and P's is that. You get what I'm saying?
Thing, like, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no child left behind
like,
okay, we got a little pause. Hold on, it's about to play. It's about to play.
I'm from $30,000 a month to $100,000 a month. Why wouldn't I? So, like, if you can tell me, if you somebody that can take my income from $30,000 a month to $100,000 a month, why wouldn't I feel? And then you're taking.
What is this? This is just crazy, dog. She sounds like she wants a trick. This is why a lot of these ladies, when they enter the lifestyle thinking they got some game, they end up falling in love with the trick. You know what I'm saying? They end up falling in love with the trick. Oops, excuse me. You know what I mean? You gotta watch out for that. You gotta watch out. I'm trying to help these ladies. I'm trying to get them better angles to see it. You know, and hey, little old bears and bees, I don't know if we can reach them all, man. That's why y'all need, when y'all be popping at these ladies, man, y'all gotta come with scholarship. You gotta come with scholarship, man. You gotta come with the scholarship, yeah. Because if you don't come with the scholarship, all y'all gonna do is start bickering. All y'all gonna do is start bickering, right? You know what I mean? That's all that's gonna happen, is you're gonna start bickering. You know? And that's not what you want to be doing, especially if you're a gentleman of the lifestyle, man. The real question is, do they want the financial advice or a man that understands and appreciates them? Well, because these ladies are not really in the lifestyle, right? They're just looking for a shortcut. So instead of, you know, because listen, I look at it like this. The ladies that really dislike, you know, 16s, right? Not the ones that be like, oh, it depends on what girl. You know, you run into a lot of those ones, right? You run into a lot of those ones that be like, oh, I don't got no problem with the 16. I just don't need one. Them ones, they ain't doing no real thrill for it, right? Now, the ones that be like, oh, I hate peas and this and that, they might be out there really trying to get their money up. You know, they just had bad experiences, right? That's where the real renegade come in at, right? A lot of these ladies, they be like, oh, no, I don't got a problem with I don't care, you know. I just don't need one myself personally. Yeah, it's because you square as hell. Just say that. It's okay. It's okay to be a square. You don't got to, you know, because you doing some so-so 3 or 4 and you can't get a man in your life. So now you want to tether into the subculture and get some attention and get some, you know, that's why I try to tell y'all, gentlemen, don't be so quick. They put, you know, they be yapping like they 3 or 4s, man, and then everybody giving them some attention, and then come to find out that's all they was looking for was just some attention from some niggas. You know what I mean? The hell with all of that, you know? The hell with all that. Ask some grassroots questions. How long you been in the lifestyle? How did you get into the lifestyle? See if she can teach. See if she can say some shit to where she takes it somewhat seriously. Hell, I ain't nobody. What did they never talk about Martina? How she uplifted? What? How did she uplifted the pimping and speaks highly of? Hey, listen. Hey, I'm just saying. She does, and she, you know, she's an older lady, you know, she doing her thing, seasoned lady, I should say, excuse me. But, you know, she could be doing a better example by having folks, I think, you know. I think she gives a, you know, the example more of, look, you know, you can have the 16 and respect the 16, but you don't need the 16. You know what I'm saying? I think she would go harder if, you know, she had her platform and doing her thing, and, you know, maybe she does have a 16. Maybe she's not showcasing it, right? Hope, you know, maybe she is, right? I don't fucking know, right? You know what I mean? Baby, huh? Let me hold what I got, huh? Let's watch some more of this.
And carry me, it's not like you're taking the money and doing what you want to do with it. You still investing money into me. You still doing stuff like that. Then
they're supposed to take their percentage as if like a real manager for an artist would do. Yeah.
Take their percentage like a real manager for an artist would do. and this is the thing. She gonna talk. The girl in the glasses. She gonna start talking as if she's a madam or some shit, right? If she did some madams or whatever the case may be. And, you know, she probably ain't did no madam or nothing like that, but she trying to talk as if she is. You know what I mean? She trying to talk as if she is. She just said that the manager is supposed to be somewhat like a pimp. And it's like, what? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just be saying anything, y'all. They really would just come up with anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything. And this is how the manipulation starts, right? This is how the manipulation starts, man. You know what I'm saying? They're so square-minded that they don't understand that they're talking about manipulators and they're calling themselves manipulators. A lot of madams do this. Right? A lot of madams, they be talking that manager talk, right? And when you start talking about that manager talk, notice you're putting yourself in the manipulation tactic, right? And the reason is because it's bigger than managing, for one, in this lifestyle, right? It's much bigger than management, right? But don't confuse, you know, results with process, right? So now if one thinks he's the manager, right, he's looking at the results of things, right? He's going to be judgmental, or she's going to be judgmental about results. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at the process, right? Notice on this broadcast, we always talk about slow nights, right? And the reason is because that's a clue piece, right? Pin that. Pin that. So when we debate these people, why do we stress slow nights so much? Because right there alone, that's bigger than management. That's bigger than managing money, right? If there's a slow night in a business, like she just said, the artist is not making no selling no records, they're gonna shelf them, right? They're gonna shelf them and they're not gonna deal with them. So when you look in that manager mindset, you're putting yourself in that manipulation mindset. You're feeding right into what society thinks the 16 is all about. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're looking at it as this lady as a product instead of a human. Now you're looking at this lifestyle as a business, as a transaction. You're looking at the trick as a client, and the tricks is, but guess what? The woman is not a product, right? So now when you're thinking, oh man, I'm a manager, we're supposed to have this quota, this and that, and that, you're going to automatically put yourself into being a manipulator, into being a controller, instead of giving the woman the agency. It's very important to understand when these dudes be like, oh, I'm the manager, I'm this. You know, the madams be like, oh, I'm just managing. The pimp is just a manager. No, we not. No. I'd rather say the pimping is the man for the hoe than the manager for the hoe. Any day. Because I understand how society looks at the 16. See, a lot of people be thinking you talking from a prideful way, and it's not pride at all. Let's let them talk.
But I'm saying,
like,
yeah,
like not the niggas that take it all, like spend it on yourself, like yeah.
It's hoes out here that's you.
They gotta people still be broke, still worried about bills,
still worried about how they gonna eat, still room not paid for, still do like he's doing nothing for you. You still in the same place. You can't.
Right. See, this is where the pressure begins. See, a lot of ladies look for the pimp for a shortcut in life. It's like you're still in the same position because maybe you don't take your 304 seriously. And then they'll choose a pimp, right? And want to be the only 304 to the pimp. And then be wondering why they still in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? It don't work that way. A lady that wants to be a 304, wants to jump in this lifestyle, has to understand the lifestyle full throttle, right? Totality. So then it can really be what it's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? You can't come in thinking you know this or thinking you know that, right? And then thinking this dude is supposed to do X, Y, and Z, but he can only do X, Y, and Z by the trap you giving him. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
With no apartment, no car, no nothing. You leaving with no car, no apartment, no nothing. And
that nigga probably wouldn't even protect you if it really came down to it.
All you left with some pleasers, like, no. And you probably ain't even leave with them because he want them too.
Yeah. But even on the protection part, nigga probably won't even protect you if it really came down to it, for real.
And that's the thing. And ladies is always talking about protection, right? They always bring it into like a physical altercation has to happen. Like somebody has to step in and pow somebody, or, you know what I'm saying? And they don't never challenge their psyche. And that's what be getting me so mad about the ladies that choose to be a lifestyle. I feel like the ladies that choose to, live this lifestyle, just like a lot of gentlemen, we appreciate having to challenge using our brain. You run into some of the real 304s, they appreciate having to use their brain because they learned the 16 uses their brain and opens their mind. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got to want to use your brain. It's not all about being, surface level thinking and being like, oh, because we understand all money's not good money. And I'm a true believer that's where that saying from the lifestyle gets inserted at and really has meaning behind it, right? All money's not good money, meaning that's security, that's protection. If the pimp has all money's not good money, how is he a manager, right? Now, if you're thinking you're a manager, for sure you're going to think, oh, I have to secure my product. I got to get the guns and the weapons and this and that and the third, because your mind is thinking you're managing something, right? But if hey, the pimping has a woman for her, and that woman is the hoes out there in the world, and these ladies, we wanted to become 304s every day, just like, you know what I'm saying? So now, this is the woman for me, and I'm the man for her. I want her safe totality to understand that all money's not good money. Hey, I can have a bazooka. You know what I'm saying? You go break the trick. You know what I'm saying? That this bazooka might came to save you. I might not make it there in time enough. He might got a bigger bazooka. You get what I'm saying? If he got motion bears, she don't care. She going right. And I get it. Man. It's a sense of a shortcut of living life, but it's not a sense of living the lifestyle to its purest point, right? Let's let him cook some more.
That's why I said, like, it's all based on the person. Like, I don't feel like every girl needs a pimp. Like, I don't feel like that.
A lot of bitches do though. Not every girl, but some do though.
A lot of bitches do. Like, it's a lot.
I can name a couple if you niggas need one.
And this is the thing. They're talking down. That's why I be like, damn, the real 304s that have folks, that's why I tell y'all don't call yourself 304s, because they're literally talking down on you ladies. They're literally talking down on the ladies that have 16s. They're saying that they don't know how to manage money. They're saying that they're gullible. They can't think for themselves. They don't know how to get money. Whatever. They're making an excuse for them having a man. You know what I'm saying? And then the pimping. You know what I'm saying? They think they doing better because they don't got nobody that gave them some real talking points. Like, okay, you about to go on your homegirl's podcast and talk about the 304. Okay, well, ask her what questions she gonna ask you. Because we gonna go in there and we gonna show some scholarship. So let's have her send us the questions that she's gonna ask, right? And then let's rehearse. Let's educate. So you ain't just going up there just rambling, looking crazy. You can actually give some good understanding of this subculture. But no, they ain't thinking like that. They ain't thinking like that, man. They not thinking like that at all.
A couple. I can name a couple.
Facts. No, but seriously, like, I know people that feel like they don't need a pimp, but I'm looking at them like, you in the same spot you've been in. You're not moving. You're not elevating. Bitch, you don't even keep your hair and nails done. Like, you don't even keep the basics.
I have done the whole, like, madam thing. I didn't know.
Here she go, talking about the madam thing. No, lady, you was never a madam. And I see this is her podcast, 304 Talk. We going to have to get some more of her content and break it down some more down the line, right? We're going to have to get some more of that.
That's what I was doing at first. Kind of just like, I guess they say, you don't choose the game,
But
choose the game,
that.
choose you.
I can see that, though, for you.
But I didn't know that's what I was doing at first.
You put a lot of hoes on money.
But I didn't know that's
what you put them on money that they're not used to getting.
And the thing about it, at first, I wasn't asking for no cut or nothing. And that's why I played myself in the beginning. After a while, I guess I did.
Bro, you didn't play yourself. You wasn't no madam, none of that, man. You know? And the reason why I know you not no madam, because you can't even give us a story. You can't even give us a real understanding of how you was a madam. You just said I was a madam, but then you played yourself. You didn't know, the game chose you, but you didn't know it. It's because you first off, you was just running around some girls that was trying to pick up some little bit of knowledge that you got. You get what I'm saying? And you probably introduced them to your homeboys that really wasn't no tricks. You get what I'm saying? See, a lot of these ladies got partners, got dudes. You know, just like you said, the woo lady, they got partners that really ain't tricks, but, you know, they like spending money. And they get cool. This is sis, right? This is sis. You know how they be talking. This sis, this twin and all that bullshit, right? And they become partners and shit. And they know, girl got, homegirls. She got partners. And the girl that got cool partners is always talking to her girls like, yeah, they be spending money, girl. They be spending money. Come on, man. They gonna spend. Trust me. They gonna like you. And now they think that's part of the lifestyle, and it's not. So now she thinks she was doing some madam shit because she was doing some shit like that. That's why all these squares be talking about the influencer woo lady, because all she is an influencer. And I don't even like the word influencer, but that's what they call these people, right? Because she ain't influencing shit, but she understood how to tether, how to use that word trick, right? And trick comes from the lifestyle, right? But she ran with that word. She start calling everything trick, and it gets under the algorithm. She start getting her views up. And then, hey, you just get creative with it. Oh, let me start trying to act like I could give game and this and that. Oh, I do got some homies that be letting me go to the club. We gonna just, and you just run with it. All for some views, all for some attention. And now you got other squares that is like, oh, woo lady's this. And she's telling these 304s how to get tricks. And tricks is this. And tricks is pimps. And it's like, bro, why y'all squares just don't see life for what it is, man? And I get it because they trying to get some content. They trying to get their page going viral. So why not tether off the whole language of the motherfucking pimping whole lifestyle? Fuck it. We going to use it all. Tricks, hoes, pimps. We going to just throw it all in there because I'm trying to get my views up too. All right, let's let her talk about this madam shit.
So in the beginning, I played myself by not asking for a person. I played myself for not asking for a cut, and then also I did play myself for when a bitch was going low, well, instead of adding a price on top of that. It was afterwards I did learn to put a price on top of that low price and her gig my.
Especially but in the beginning, if it's your trick, he $1,000 trick, and she only want $200. What are the other $800? Man,
you see what I say? It's your trick. It's your trick. It's like, listen, you gotta understand, manipulation is a hell of a thing, right? And the thing is, a lot of people have some type of structure or let's say some type of materialistics, right? To where people get blinded and think that's structure. So bam, I got this materialistics. A female comes into me because she sees all this materialistics. She thinks I have structure, right? Within her thinking I have structure, that dude or whoever's dealing with automatically can use leverage. And within using that leverage, that's called manipulation. You get what I'm saying? Anybody can manipulate somebody, right? But structure creates stability, right? Materialistics and structure is two different things. See, structure creates stability to where now nobody's having to worry about being manipulated. right? Because standards separate the short term and the long term of success, right? So boom, you see materialistics, you think they have structures, but reality is they don't got no standards, right? So now it's going to just be a short-term win instead of a long-term success. You get what I'm saying? And that's what you guys got to understand when these ladies be speaking. They're speaking for short-term wins and not long-term success. And that's when you look at the game as a hustle. I'm the manager, right? Instead of looking at it as a lifestyle.
Because he's already expecting.
Yeah.
You know he's expecting.
They gonna laugh at
he's
my
expecting
they
to spend $2,000.
They gonna laugh at my ass.
So why not keep your $1,800 and give her too? That's all she wants. So like, I just feel like.
And mind you, this is an example of them being a madam. You see how they want to really manipulate the gullible woman? Instead of giving her knowledge, they think, you know, that they're speaking as if they're in the 1% of the 304 and like, oh, this girl gullible. She don't want her money. You take your win. Instead of educating this lady, right? Letting her know, hey, man, we getting paid for our time. It ain't just about pleasure. You just, you know, accept 200. This motherfucker is, you know, because that's how the game, God bless you. If you're really going to take that role, you should be genuine of the lifestyle. But see, everybody's looking at it as a hustle. And then they want to just throw that and be like, oh, I was doing some madam or I was doing some pimping. And it's like, hell no, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Don't just try to, you know, escape. That's the escape route for a lot of them. That's the escape route for a lot of them. Oh, you know, I was trying to, you know, she didn't know that, you know, the trick had this much and she just wanted 200. So I let her get her 200 and I kept the rest. Well, I was just doing some pimping. Like, no. That's not your exit route to blame that on the pimping. That don't rock. You was doing you. You was being selfish. You was being you. That the pimping ain't selfish like that. Pimping is an educator. They want every female that's dealing with the pimping, he think this gonna be the one or they gonna be the one. What's going on with good game? I appreciate that. It ain't no, oh man, I'm just gonna get over on this one. It don't even matter if she's not the most attractive lady, if she's not the most in shape lady. The 16 always have good intentions, and it's because it's about the will and it's about the effort, right? It's not about managing. You get what I'm saying? It's not about getting over, because people believe in the spirit of this lifestyle. If you do good, you're going to get good coming your way. You know what I'm saying? And that's just simply what it is. But when these ladies come talking and they just trying to sound good, probably trying to get some views for their stuff, and then they could just start talking reckless and then just try to exit around and be like, oh, I was doing some pimping, or I tried it a little bit. It found, no, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, lady.
I played myself during certain situations. That's all I can say. But it's a learning lesson that I took and I learned that how to. But like I said, I didn't know that's what I was falling into and becoming. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the shit really do choose you.
They do that.
You see how they do that exit route? The shit really do choose you. Huh? I didn't know what I was doing. Like, no. You're an evil person that just took advantage of a gullible woman. And you kind of be talking, I'm trying to tell you, they literally be talking in that HT talk. And they don't be thinking. They just think, oh, I was just doing this. Nah, bro. Put some respect on the pimping. Pimping don't think like that. Pimping ain't trying to get over on the 304. Nope, no. You know, you sounding like an HT lady. You know what I'm saying? You did an experience in that. You know what I mean? But no, you wasn't doing no pimping.
They don't choose it. They choose it.
They really do, though, baby.
I mean, but some people do probably choose it, but, you know.
I was just one of the ones that shit really did choose me. Niggas hit my phone up about bitches and shit. This and that. I got the bitches. Dude, shit. I mean, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I introduced.
You hear what she's just talking. It's niggas hitting me up talking about I got the bitch. Shut up, bro. That is just comical, dog. It's just comical how... And like I said, man, they could be doing a podcast. They could take the 304 world. That don't bother me. They keep talking about 304. That's why I be trying to explain. When y'all do send me DMs and you know, content that y'all want, you know, people to talk on. If it's just about 304s, I'm not going to talk on it. That's for ladies to handle. But as soon as they want to insert talking about the gentleman of the lifestyle and we want to create a narrative, that's when I have to interject, right? If it's just girl talk and they're talking about, oh, the blade this and girls need to do that, I'll post that shit on the reel if I'm the first one to catch it. But I try not to just talk about the girl talk. I'm cool. I let the true 304s handle that. They better get their voice. They better choose a 16 or tell they 16 to give them a voice to understand how to break these square wannabe 304s down. Right, they don't get no views if they don't mention the pension. You ain't lying about that. You is not lying about that, man. That's why I'm here. That's why we here. Every time they get some views, nigga, we on their head. And it's always an educational way. Of course, so I talk like that, but it's metaphorically. And I understand that's why I bring scholarship. Gotta come back, calm down, right? It's always educational. It's never bashing, right? Because these ladies could, wake up one day and understand the importance of choosing a pimp. You can't put them in the renegade category just yet because they don't have no experience yet of having a 16. They might get some experience of a 16. One might come across a true 16 and be like, oh, out of wall, and choose up and whole perspective change of the lifestyle. You always got to look at it half full, right?
Bitches into like knowing they worth for real, because it's like some of the bitches I know, they was cute bitches, and it's like you out here doing all this shit for free. Then bitch, you want to come to me about you hungry, want to come to me about you need, can I borrow $100? What about that nigga you went and fucked
for nothing?
And a bitch with my friend, she better not even think about asking me for some money if she fucking it.
See, this is a tactic to recruit. You see how they recruit on a bashful tip? Like if a female come asking them for some money, and she was just with a dude, and just because the dude didn't have no money, but she liked the dude and they had a good time, and now she come ask her homegirl for some money, she want to be bashful and be like, you need to be doing some 304. And they think that's how 16s work, and that's not how a 16 thinks at all. And I want y'all to understand, the ladies that be in that square world, in that gray area, that's how they think. They want to, and you wonder why. It'd be like, oh, all of these, people, all of these, not quite adults that's on the blade doing this and doing that. It's because ladies like them, when they come asking for a couple dollars, and just because they was with their boyfriend and didn't get no money from their boyfriend because the boyfriend ain't got no money to give, they want to start talking crazy like, oh, you supposed to be doing this and you supposed to be doing that. You get what I'm saying? And they not realizing what they created. But they will just try to exit route. Oh, well, that's the 16. That's how the 16s are. And it's like, no. That's not your exit route. That is not the exit route no more. You feel me? The 16 ain't the floor mat for people to keep wiping their feet off on. Hell no. Y'all stand on it and leave the 16 out your damn mouth.
Nigga, bitch, I'm not, bro, you better not. I didn't have a secret motive. Just did it because, bitch, you got her struggling. Oh, you need to do better. And the little messy ass, I want to go back and told her. So you said, yo, bitch, I said it. I also said it to you that same night. Did you forget? You wasn't that drunk. It's like, yeah, but yeah, that shit's hard, a lot of work. If you gotta beat the bitch, you don't need the bitch, and I ain't trying to be on it.
If I gotta beat you, then bitch, I don't need you.
So
you see how they use the terminologies?
What is it? What check marks do a guy has to check off in order to make you think? Do he make you like raise the eyebrow? Like, I'm like, okay, you got my attention. I might say, like, what
niggas gotta be like, okay. I know. I'm not even gonna say I can see a nigga doing more than what I can do for myself. I can't even say that, because just because a nigga can do more for himself, that don't mean he gonna do more for you. I want to see, like, okay, you got bitches that's there for you, like bitches that, cause where?
Look, she wanna see the whole stable. She wanna come and check out everything. Like, okay, yeah, I wanna be. And let's say pimping got it going on. She thinking like, yeah, this is where I want to be. like that's how pimps think. Like, yeah, come on in, come on, look how we living. You can live just like that. Because like you said, hey, I don't know. I try to stay away from the geographical part of how gentlemen are and all that. But from my knowledge, man, I see a lot of Florida cats and a lot of Florida ladies that their ideology of this lifestyle just be on some other stuff, man. They be on some other stuff. Now, you do run into some that, maybe, but from what I see on the internet, man, it be all, they ain't game tight over there. They calling anybody a pimp and anybody a hoe over there, man. 1 second, got a message. 1 second. Oh no, they calling them everything, man, over there. But this is the thing. This is the thing, man. These ladies are literally trying to act as if they doing some type of real 304 and know what a real 16 is, when in reality they don't. They don't.
If you've been doing
I feel like
this,
he should still be a man, like a real manly man.
Yeah,
too.
And if you've been doing this for this long, where are the hoes that was before me?
See, this is the thing though. When when they be like, there's a pimp out there for a 304 and there's a 304 for a pimp, right? To where this is what I was talking about. Positioning yourself creates leverage, right? So if you are true, and this is why I think, because this goes back to the Florida thing. A lot of these dudes are trying to be thirsty, having these females that are doing, bare minimum 304, and that they call them so-so hoes or weekend warriors, right? And they'll get so many attention by these dudes that's trying to get their foot in the door, trying to get their pimping on, right? But the position of that gentleman's life ain't quite as good as the women that they're popping at. And do they know that? No, not necessarily. But what that does is it opens the door for anybody that doesn't take this lifestyle seriously to create a narrative. That's why I challenge the ones that is in that position. I mean, that's in that place right now, to where they just campaigning crazy. Position yourself when you campaign, man. Don't be thirsty. Just because you saying you campaigning, that don't mean be reckless, right? Cause pressure creates resistance. You get what I'm saying? Pressure creates resistance, right? So timing matters. You know what I mean? Opportunity, it favors the preparation, right? So if you're putting some thought in your campaigning and you understand you're not financially where you want to be, right? But you might be physically where you want to be. You might be spiritually where you want to be. You want to position yourself where it's your strong points, right? And then you don't want to come off fake. You want to come off real, right? To where now they're understanding you and not trying to understand the materials, because that's what it comes down to, right? That's what it comes down to. People who are well positioned don't have to force every outcome. You get what I'm saying? The better position, the fewer unnecessary moves you have to make. You get what I'm saying? So you got to understand, when you're a true gentleman of the lifestyle, it's not about, oh yeah, I'm about to go, because that's where I think a lot of the hate comes from. Like, oh, these girls is maggots, and these girls are this, and these girls are that. It's because you cut yourself too thin, right? You was trying to go too crazy at everybody, when it's like, position yourself to where now, if you position yourself in a unique way, you going to find the 304 that's looking for you is going to find you. You get what I'm saying? It's not always about trying to just have a 304, because 9 times out of 10, these ladies that you are popping at ain't 304s. Keep that in mind too. All right, let's keep it going.
None of them here.
Or what, did they progress or what?
Like, and then, right, none of the, that's what I want to know. Like, okay, how long you done had? Where your bitches at? Where your hoes at? And I want to know, like, let me see how they look. Let me see their level.
They're a representation of...
Your bitches are a representation of you. So if your hoes are...
Look, and this is the thing. They're not, they think, when they use that little saying, they use it out of context too, because their representation of the 16 doesn't mean they have to showcase it to other females. Doesn't mean, oh, I have to, because 9 times out of 10, if you get in a stable, the female that's already down ain't gonna be trying to be all, especially if the 16 is bringing a new bride in. Most ladies of the lifestyle ain't trying to deal with all that. They trying to just do their thing, like, whatever, man. I know what I signed up for, but ain't no need to try to pump it in their face. You get what I'm saying? A true 304 is like, why is this nigga trying to do all this, showcasing me? He done knocked another female and all. And I'm supposed to be like, hey, this is how it is. Let me show you. Like, no. No. You looking for some fantasy. And this, I don't know if they from Florida. I can see that. I can see because a lot of them cats, they get their money in other ways. They didn't get their money from the womb. And then now all of a sudden they want to act like they doing some player stuff. They got a bunch of girlfriends in strip clubs and all of this, bare minimum type stuff. And they try to, get their feet wet finally. And it's like, nah, you didn't come from the grassroots. It hits a little different. You know what I mean?
Nothing. Like, I look at them and I'm like, why would I want to give you my money? I'm assuming, especially she been here longer than me. So how long I'm gonna have to work to get, like, what?
And also, too, I thought, aren't pimps supposed to bring, like, plays?
Hold on, she said it on the nose. So how long am I supposed to work to get, like, what? Like, exactly. So if you come into a household and you see you got a stable and they doing their thing, how long you think this lady stayed down or these ladies stayed down for them to, so you can see all of this? And then you think you just supposed to come in and, oh yeah, man, I done chose the right one. Nah. She caught herself, but this girl cut her off.
So their hoes as well are like putting them on. That's what I thought. At least a pimp, because as what you know what I'm saying.
Because it depends on the bitch. Because like,
especially if that you supposed to be connected up, nigga, to introduce me to the next level.
He could know, like he could know plays, or it could be like he know. It could be a bitch that's green to everything. She might need to know. She don't even know where to go to make money. She don't even know what to do to make money.
That's a pimp favorite right there.
So like it's bitches like that. But I'm speaking on my situation.
It's not. See, they always talking about she don't know money. Listen, it's about taking the subculture seriously, right? The money is going to come as long as we take it seriously. You get what I'm saying? You don't lead with the money. A lot of these people, when they lead with the money, you could tell they never really been in the lifestyle. Because they don't talk about the slow nights at all. None of these ladies talk about slow nights because they're not real participants of the lifestyle. I want y'all to start asking, when y'all be popping out these little ladies and things, ask them about their slow nights and see if they give you some fabricated answer or they be genuine. Because that's what's going to let you know. That's what's going to let you know something. See how serious she take it. If she can be genuine about the slow nights and got a real logical and substance answer behind it, that lets you know how seriously she takes her 304. When she was at the bottom of her thought process of being a 304, how can she relay that message to you? What was her mindset at that time? Was she looking for a scapegoat? Was she looking about getting out? Was she staying down? What was it?
Like,
you locked up or no? Oh, you got pew pew pew. Damn. How you doing?
Good.
So I didn't catch this part. I don't know if I edited out. They was talking about some dude.
Take a trip, bitch. You playing?
I'm saying though, but
you can't go by yourself because I feel like them hoes don't. They waiting for you. They is. Them hoes waiting for you. They are. You know it too. That's why you laughing.
Wait on it.
I'm just saying, if you go, I'll be there. I'm more than down to come. I know people out there too already. So, but so
now with the Cali.
So based on the bitches, how can you tell? Like, just nigga just gotta know.
And then also like niggas run into a lot of bullshit bitches. Like, yeah.
What's your thoughts on the fee? The fee that the hoes are supposed to pay the pimp.
It depends on the pimp. Like, why would I give you $20,000 and you don't even look like you got $20,000?
Niggas is that crazy. I didn't think it was $20,000.
Yeah, it could be.
And that's the thing. You heard the example. Why would I give you $20,000 if you don't look like you got $20,000? And she won't tell herself that wasn't a pimp. Instead, she would think that's how pimps think. And it's like, why don't you just tell yourself, this dude that just asked for that dumbass fee and he don't look in position to do that? Because no dude, right? I would think no pimp is going to go pursue a female and then tell him his fee. Do you hear what I'm saying? No true pimp is going to go pursue the female and then turn around and be like, oh, but my fee is this. But these people would think that, right? So some dude getting at her constantly, and then they finally, but okay, what's your fee? Oh, my fee 20,000. And it's like, why would you go pursue the woman and then you gonna talk about some fee? But that's what that's what they think is doing, The fee is probably gonna be brought up after she's been in your business and trying to get on your line. And then, hey, man, listen, you know what you're dealing with, hey, to come in my presence or whatever the case may be, to where now the ladies of the lifestyle get a true understanding of the 16, right? Excuse me. Let's push play.
It's whatever niggas say. It could be 5,000. It could be 500.
I was saying 2,000.
It could be 2,000.
That's for a really good pimp.
10,000. Like it just depends. But why would I give you that?
That's a crazy application fee. Price of the pussy needs to go up.
And
if
then
you paying it.
Sometimes I be feeling like niggas be approaching you. So if you chose me, why I gotta pay you? What?
See, and you notice they love using niggas because. You will hear this a lot. Ladies that's in that gray area, they for some reason it's hard for them to just talk about pimps and just let it roll out their tongue. They'll ask oh, how do you think about pimps? And then they'll start talking and be like, oh yeah, them niggas this and you know them, and they'll just start saying them and they and all of that type of shit, right? Because they ain't never had no pimp. They ain't never probably took the whole lifestyle seriously, right? But notice they be approaching her. That's what she said. Them niggas be approaching me. And notice because these dudes are not coming off as tricks, so I guess they have to be pimps. That's one thing that you got to understand with these square independent 304s. They're unintentionally looking at guys as either pimps or tricks. Because if they're not acting like a trick, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to be, or better yet, if they come off as a pimp, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to put them as a pimp. And I'm going to start, downloading in my membrane on how pimps act. Because every guy that come off me that didn't come at me like a trick, then automatically they got to be a pimp. So I'm going to download that shit. And now they create their own narrative in their head on what they think a pimp is.
The nigga's supposed to approach you good to convince you either you gonna choose him or not.
Mm-hmm.
The niggas is always supposed to make the first move. Don't matter.
That's a fact. I feel like that.
The pimp is supposed to make it seem as to give you everything that for you to choose him or to choose.
No. Oh my God, these ladies think the pimping is supposed to be put on Front Street, be a self-advertisement to be like, this is what you could be if you get with me. You get down with me, you're gonna have the world. Like, what is wrong with you ladies, dog?
What he doing to you? Like, how you living? What's
Stop
going
listening
on?
to that, Dr. Sue.
Hold on. Quick message.
Shit, bitch. That shit.
All right, we back.
Look, I feel like stop listening to them rhymes and shit and look at the facts.
I can rhyme too.
That's the facts. Like, what is he doing for his bitches? How is his bitches upkeep? What?
You notice how they try to put that's why I be trying to tell y'all be putting too much pressure on the 16, man. They don't never put no A. They think that the 304 is a prize to the 16 to where he has to show this, he has to do that, he has to do this. Offer her to choose the 16. You get what I'm saying? When, listen, first off, we're listening from ladies that I don't think are really 304s. That's why they can just say it so confidently, because they don't really got no real experience. They don't got no real experience in the lifestyle, right? To where they just rambling a little bit. But for the ladies that do got some real experience in the lifestyle, you got to understand it's bigger than trying to choose a situation to help your life be easier, right? Because, reality is if you don't take your life, if you don't want to grow in your life on your own, and you think you just got to make a choice, you got to make a decision, you got to just choose something to make everything better, then the real reality is that you don't take, you don't have confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? The real reality is you don't got confidence in doing it yourself and making the right decisions to where you think somebody has to put up an ad for you to choose them to make everything all right. You know what I mean? everything but the home.
What do they have? Where do they live? Like, those things are all...
Does he take all of the money or a percentage of the money? Because some niggas take off, some take a percentage.
And then if you take all of it, what did you do? Like, especially if you take all of it, what are you doing for your bitch? But a real pimp gonna take all of it.
But what are they doing to take all of it, though?
What are you doing? That's what I'm saying. Like, but I
feel like, okay.
I know pimps that bitches got bank accounts and their bank accounts stacked.
That's what I think. So listen, so this is what I think. A pimp does take all of it, but I feel like when he takes all of it, he takes his percentage out, and the rest of it, he puts it into her bank account. Some of the niggas that take all of it, they're putting it into their shit.
And some of them just like stack the money. Some of them stack the money, and like the bitch get a certain percentage. Cause you know, of course, there's bitches out here that's reckless with money. A bitch out here can make $200.
Females
right
were
now.
Reckless.
$200 right now and go spend the whole $200.
I know, bitch, that don't work all night and all morning.
And to wake up in the morning, they don't have nothing.
And be broke, bitch. How you been working all night, all morning, and be broke? But
yeah, it don't make sense. But see, she would need a pimp, because like a pimp's gonna tell her, you really don't need that. Is that a necessity?
No. And every lady that's doing some 304 needs a pimp, right? Every lady that's doing some 304 needs a pimp. The thing is this. Is that they're thinking, they're looking at these women that I don't think these ladies take the lifestyle seriously. I think when they go do their little side trapping and whatnot, they got a square job, they got a, something, square hustle, whatever the case may be. Now for the lady that just, did some 304 and then blow her whole trap, that's just because she don't manage money well enough, right? But she still might not take the lifestyle seriously. And the pimp get around the pimping and then start complaining that she can't, spend this and spend that. And then the situation still doesn't work because the pimping is not supposed to be saving you and not going to handle the money how you want to handle it. No, and he's not looking for gullible women either. You know what I'm saying? Got to get that away. You guys got to stop thinking it's about, the pimping want to deal with the gullible one or the one that don't know how to manage money. No, the pimping wants to deal with the one that is the smartest, because that one understands the lifestyle totality. You get what I'm saying? Oh my God.
I wanted to take her down to Texas to introduce. I don't got people that I really put on. She do.
Is that something you really need? Why are you spending if you only make X amount of money a day? If you only make $500 a day,
to show for it.
Why?
Nothing you
why
buy.
Is the $500? If you make $500 on Monday, why is it gone Tuesday?
Nothing you buy is expensive.
You haven't nothing put up. You don't have nothing put up. Like literally nothing.
And I'm that friend to tell you go to the bank.
Honestly, that's what pimps have the impression of renegades as. Yeah. Like hoes is just a.
I'm a bad bitch.
And hold on, we Divine, you must be drunk, cause you still. What is he talking about? I go straight to flatback, and what is he talking about? Divine, we getting tired of educating you, sir. We getting tired of it, man.
And I had bitches like open up bank accounts. I don't want that many bitches like go to the bank. Me too. Go to the bank.
I done had bitches that come around me and they never did certain stuff till they got around me.
I done got a bitch into doing yoga. Bitch, you got that anger shit. Bitch, go meditate, ho. Get into yoga. We start fucking around. So now all of a sudden this bitch is into yoga shit.
She didn't, like, hoes don't even be getting simple shit. Nails, hair, motherfucking toes done till she get around me. So I'm saying, like...
What? They just dapped up. I'm trying to get this video over. Let me see how much longer we got.
Bitch, the nigga just got manners.
We only got a couple more minutes. I'm going to let it play all the way through. And then we're going to bring some people up here and talk about it. He's going to be nice to you
because you're my friend. We're fucking each other. My nigga, he's supposed to do that out for real. Bitch, I'm not going to fuck with no nigga who ain't like, the fuck, bitch. Nah, bitches ain't used to that.
Not at all. So that's definitely a main thing. Like... bitches, every bitch is on a different caliber. So what might be important to one bitch might not be important to me.
Bitches have to one-on-one better. So is there any tips or advice that you could give to any female that's thinking about joining into this industry?
Okay, she about to give some advice. It's about 2 more minutes, then we gonna let some people up here. I hope we got some new ears in here. Russell Lee, I hope you want to come up, share what's on your mind. What was that, Boy Squad? But let's let these last 2 minutes play out. Let's see what advice she trying to give some other 304s. I appreciate y'all tapping the screen, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. Then we're going to open the podium, man, and see what's on y'all mind.
whether it's the strip club or the nightlife with escorting, prostitution, tricking, and all of that. Like, what advice and tips?
Advice, I would say, just like stay true to yourself. Don't let no one talk you down or even like convince you to do something you're not comfortable with. Because out here, that's the game. Like, a bitch you can meet a bitch in the club and she can try to get you to do this. Y'all seen Players Club, so y'all know. Like, don't let nobody convince you to do something you're not comfortable with. Stay true to yourself.
That bitch done sold you already.
Stay down. Like, even if you might have a slow night, you might have 1-2 slow nights, but every night not slow. You might have a great night, a night that amounts to all those slow nights that you just had. Like, stay down, stay true to yourself, and stay on your game.
Right. She don't know what she's talking about. Let me pause it. Let's pause it. Let's get it right. Y'all don't know nothing about this. This is what I be watching on YouTube. You feel me? I be watching, getting my mind right. I be getting my mind right, man. Okay. Now, like I'm saying, man, these ladies, they don't know what they talking about, but I wanted to show y'all that. I wanted to show fellas that because that's the type of thing that we run into on a regular basis, and I wanted to just give y'all some ways to handle it instead of us just always getting mad and trying to, use emotion. Let's try to bring some logic behind it and get some understanding.
Thought she knew the game, now she playing it away. Took her own route, now she moving day to day. No rules, no guide, she do it how she choosing. But when it get quiet and she all alone, that's a renegade illusion.